Hi, welcome to episode 2. This is David. In the first episode, it was, I said a bunch of incorrect stuff, but it doesn't really matter because these videos are really for only the people I know, and they would only be things that the internet would disagree with. So I'm going to go a little more in depth today into modules, the modules specifically that I use, how to install them, and then what a little bit of each of them do. So I'm going to try and go through this. The first video was 22 minutes, and that was way too long. So let's see what I can do. So in order to do modules, since Foundry is an open source software, developers can create their own add-ons that you install into the Foundry software as a DM, and it adds functionality, it adds cool new features, it does all kinds of really cool stuff. So here's a list of all the ones that I have, and I'll put a list actually in the description of the video so you can see exactly which ones I have. But essentially, you want to always update them. You always want the most current version. The developers are working all the time to make them like bigger and better. Foundry just recently updated to version 10. I accidentally updated to version 10, and a bunch of my mods didn't work. But thankfully, they've been updated since, so they're good to go now. But I always update every few days, make sure, definitely before a session. So the way you want to do it is you click on install module and you can search for whichever one you're looking for. Now you may not know exactly which one you want to look for, so oftentimes I will search on a web browser and I'll say I want to know about mob tactics or something like that. So here's actually one called Multiattack tool. Now this one, I was looking how to make combat a little bit faster in D&D, and I remember in the DMG, the Dungeon Master's Guide, it says something about mob attack rules. I kind of forgot about those, but somebody, wouldn't you know it, made a module about it. So you can click on that and use it. I think actually the mob attack tool is for version 9, so it doesn't work right now. But you can click on that and you can install it. You just click install, but it doesn't turn it on. You still need to turn it on within Foundry, so that's one thing to remember. You can go through all these different packages to look for stuff, but you're probably going to be better off going online, typing in like top 10 best mods that people think, and you'll see all kinds of cool stuff. And then you also get videos. You can go on YouTube to see how to use it properly, but let's jump into the software really quick and we'll take a look. So let's go into Game Worlds, hit Launch World. Again, I don't use passwords. I think in the first video I said world description when creating a new one that nobody ever sees it. It's not that nobody ever sees it, it's that nobody ever looks at it. That's why I added the Zoom meeting in the Foundry link for my players. So it's quick and easy to jump in. Okay, so we'll boot into Call of the Netherdeep. We're not going to look at anything else, but I will go through some of the configure settings and stuff like that. So let's say we installed a bunch of mods, and we're going to go over here to the settings menu and then manage modules. So this is a list of every mod that I'm using. I'm currently using 30. Some of them are turned off. Some of these that you'll see here, like sequencer, settings extender, socklib, these are called dependencies, libWrapper. They need to be installed in order for certain ones to work, and a lot of other mods will work off of, say, Midi QOL, quality of life. This one's great. There's a lot of really cool stuff in there. Yeah, see, mob attack doesn't work because it's on version 9. Pings and perfect vision, I think, were both picked up in the new Foundry version 10, so I don't think you need those moving forward. But if you see some on here where you're like, what the hell is that? They're dependencies, and they need to you need to have those installed for them in order to work. So you can turn them on, turn them off, click. It'll usually refresh the software. You can deactivate as well if you need to. So let's close that. So then the next section that you're going to be working in is under configure settings. Then you get all of these sub-menus for each one of your mods. So what do each one of them do, you might ask? In the first video, I did show you for permission configuration and some little things that each person can do if their performance is starting to lag. You can do high and you can drop down the frame rate. D&D 5th edition system. I would encourage you to go through some of these because there may be things that you want to turn off, things that you want to turn on. There are way more settings than anybody really needs for just a regular game. But you may start to see things that you want, like apply currency weight. You can turn that on so that people are encumbered if they have too much coin, like that's going to happen. Automated animations. These are really cool. So this works when you target an enemy and then use your weapons. There's a bunch that are already built in. and you can actually customize them. So it starts off with a few spells, a bunch of attacks, but it didn't have one for, say, Thunderwave. Lightning Bolt. So it's really easy. You can just cruise in, create a new template called Lightning Bolt, and search this huge library of effects. So then anytime in a future game somebody uses Lightning Bolt, it has a great animation to it. It's super easy. If you're interested in seeing how that works, I'd be happy to show you. D&D Beyond Companion Module. So this one is an add-on that works with your browser. So if people want to roll from within D&D Beyond, this allows that to connect to this VTT. Combat Focus. Let's see, which one is this? Combat Focus. Oh, in the Combat Tracker pet. So this is Combat Focus. This puts all of the chat stuff in when you're in combat. This is actually really helpful, so you can only have the one thing open. D&D Beyond Importer deserves its own video. There is a great video on how this works. This basically is a super easy way to get every monster, every item, every whatever from your D&D Beyond account imported into Foundry. This is also how I import any changes that anybody makes to their characters in D&D Beyond and pull them right into their tokens. So this is really cool. Dice So Nice. I think anybody watching this video knows what this is. You can set up your own 3D rolling dice. This is really cool. Lots of cool options as well. And I think I said in the previous video that there are a lot of game settings that individual player characters can configure themselves. So they are able to go into settings, go into Dice So Nice, and change their own things. So same with like Kobold Ready Up, you can change the volume. When it's your turn that's coming up, it can be really loud, make that blah sound. It can be a little bit alarming. You can turn that down yourself. Dice Tray is this down here. I think this is really helpful for just, regular rolls. Drag Ruler, I absolutely love. This also comes with Drag Ruler integration. I have Drag Ruler integration turned off because it's not needed, and I think it messes with the functionality. But this one will allow characters to drag their tokens, and it will tell them once they have run out of movement speed. So green is just regular movement. The yellow sections are dashing, and then red means you just simply can't move that far. I think it's really cool and helpful. Dynamic effects using active effects. This is kind of works with automated animations. FXMaster shows up over here, actually. So you can put elemental effects on your maps. I think it's pretty cool. Jules and Ben's animated assets along with automated animations and dynamic effects. This is that huge library I was talking about of free cool content. Like down here I have in my macros. These are just cool spells. You can do shield and magic circles and all kinds of wild stuff. You can save them as macros as a DM, but also as a player character. Kobold Ready Up lets people know that their turn is coming. You can customize the messages. It's kind of cool. libWrapper, again, that's a dependency. I wouldn't mess with that. Midi QOL goes very, very deep into a lot of quality of life features. So GM specific, player specific, you can have auto roll damage. So you can kind of speed up those combats. So you can roll for hit. It just automatically rolls damage. So if you do hit, you don't have to roll again. It just does it. If you miss, whatever, you ignore the roll. Those kinds of things. Very cool. Multi-attack is great for a DM. So if you have characters like, say, this Hezro right here, they have multi-attack, bite, and claw. You can set that up. This is what it is right here. Once you have that character selected, you can save it as defaults. Pretty cool. Makes things a little bit faster. MyBeyond, the D&D 5e character sheet theme. This makes the character sheets look like D&D Beyond. Some people find it, looks like I don't have it turned on for them. Some people find it helpful, other people don't. The way that you do that, I think, is you click into them, click into sheet, and then change your default sheet. And then that gives you the kind of D&D Beyond looking thing. Pop Out. Pop Out is a mod that allows people... So a distinct difference between DMs and PCs is that DMs are going to use this tabletop software, and then the players are going to use the browser. If you use Pop Out, that means that your player characters can click on any of these fields, and it'll pop it out. You'll see this in each of the things here, and it makes it a separate browser tab. So if you have like two screens, you can really customize what you want to be looking at during your battles. Sequencer, again, this has to do with animated spell effects and stuff like that. You can turn things off I probably won't do a video on that because I don't run into it very much. Time's Up is another dependency, sort of. This one allows passive effects to expire. I haven't really gotten to figure this one out yet, but if somebody casts, something that only lasts, a minute, it'll turn itself off in effect. Again, I haven't really figured it out yet, but token action HUD, this one's really great. So that's this right here. This works out really, really cool for getting things done quickly. Token magic effect, more effects that go along with dynamic effects, and torch allows you to turn things on and off. So that's it for this video. I'll put the things in the description below. Hi, Hazel.